One thing that's really interesting to me is that there is music throughout, and it's not noticeable in the sense that it is mixed really well. And one of the things that, the sound design and the sound mix on this film is also really incredible. And it's something that a lot of horror filmmakers get wrong because they mix the score too high. And then the score is too obvious and it cues too much. And all the rest of the sound is, like here it feels very even. The sound design and the score are balanced. How was working in post? Where did you do post sound?
So we did post at another country that's here in Chicago, and they do a lot of stuff for Cartempuin. They do a lot of docs. Drew Weir, who did the sound design, I loved working with him. And we did that exact same thing, you know? I mean, we knew that Nick wasn't so ego-driven that he was like, my score must rise above. And I'm really somebody who I love a score in a film. You know, people don't go online, don't go on Letterboxd and see what people have said about this film, because some people are kind of just like, that score is, you could play a drinking game with that score, you'd be wasted, you know, every time a synth, chord came on or whatever. There is somebody who actually said that. But I really am somebody who kind of grew up on music, and I grew up on films that, you know, had lots of music in it. Like I really think about something like The Hunger, you know, and what sort of like the Bauhaus did to that, and the way that kind of just drives the emotional temperature of that film. And so Nick was not ever kind of like, yeah, let's do this and let's do this bigger. One thing I'll say is that with Drew from another country, he was so good at really thinking about the narrative of the film. And so talking Tiger Shirt Mom, every time you see her, up until the moment when the tiger shirt tells her to get her shit together, there's like this little tiny voice. There's little voices that you hear in the background that could be a radio in the background or something. And that was really his idea to say, well, I said to him, like, I want to have something, every time that she comes on, I want to have some sound that makes the audience feel maybe not uneasy or nauseous, not, you know, destructive, but that lets you know that there's something that her character is sensing that the other characters are not sensing. And he wasn't kind of like, I have no idea what you're talking about, that isn't diegetic. He was like, yes, great. And there were so many moments like that where we said, it wasn't kind of like, what does the meatloaf slamming against the van doors sound like? It was also kind of like, what does that signify emotionally for that character? And how do we find the right slam sound that's also authentic, but that also could be slightly emotional? And so that was really important. And then the only time when I said to Nick, like, you really have to kind of like make this feel much bigger is when fake pregnancy mom and cheer daughter find Carolyn's body. Yeah. You know, I was like, make this moment, drive this moment home, that this is a scary movie, that's a dead body. And when he sent me that track, it was like chills, because that's a beautiful, big musical moment that says everything for this town has shifted. Everything for everyone in this film, it will never be the same for them again, you know? But yeah, for the sound design, it was lots of just talking, and thank God, I mean, I will work with Drew again, you know? I mean, he was great and he got it. And I think that anybody right now who's interested in sound design, or if you're a filmmaker and you're thinking about sound design, like just that's, you know, sound for me, and I'm sure you know this too, it's like, honestly, it is the thing that completely connects someone to the image, right? You know, and I think there's ways to also deal with that with people who are hearing impaired, 100%. But it's like this, because sound is so abstract on some level. So the sound is what you're seeing, something that feels like familiar, and then maybe you're hearing something that's not familiar, and then when those two things meet is where you have this other moment where the director wants you to be, and never discount that.